Overall thoughts. This was an okay show. Not a bad show. Not a good show. An okay show. And that's not terrible, but when Impact only has 2 pay-per-views a year, you expect them to feel huge. Outside filming somewhere else, this didn't feel bigger than what we see on Impact Weekly. And even when filming somewhere else, the stage and setup looked exactly the same. Moose had someone sing him to the ring, but it lacked the pomp and circumstance that big PPVs provide. Bound for Glory was already behind the 8 ball due to the marathon set of tapings that made up the last 3 months of Impact TV. With those 3 months taped in a week, they were forced to really pad the last month, building to their biggest PPV with a ton of filler. Because of that, many of the stories lost momentum coming into last night. The heat behind these feuds had dwindled. That left the matches to pick up the slack. There were definitely some good matches, all of the title matches were at least pretty good, but nothing popped off the page like a big-time PPV classic. And with the storylines dipping the last month, they really needed that for this to be a great show. This show is going to really only be remembered for the Alberto El Patron events, and it may not be remembered in a positive light for those. More about all of that soon. For the talent that has been there while Alberto was suspended, that sucks. All the talent should have the chance to be part of something memorable on such a big show. But in the end, the only thing that sticks out on this show is really Alberto El Patron. Now on to the matches. Eli Drake Def. Johnny Impact to retain his Impact Championship. This was all about Alberto El Patron. Alberto returned earlier in the night to cut a promo railing against management for suspending him and stripping him of his title despite all investigations clearing him of any wrongdoing. There was an uncomfortable moment where he forced Jeremy Borash to apologize for not reaching out to him when he was suspended. He also ruined the main event. Literally. After Johnny hit his Starship Pain, seemingly winning the match, Alberto came through the crowd and cleaned house. The referee went down when Johnny Impact missed a dive to Alberto and knocked the ref out. Patron then laid out both men, including breaking a chair over Johnny's head. Seriously, Impact? Still doing unprotected headshots in 2017? Get out of here with that. The disgruntled Patron then draped Drake over Johnny, handing him the win. This was not because he has any love for the champion. He made that point earlier. It's more likely that he feels no one should get to face Drake until he does. Bring back Alberto as a heel seems like the way to go. Though bringing him back at all is questionable. His initial promo was a bit awkward and uncomfortable, as was his bit with Jeremy Borash. But if it transitions past his suspension and just into Alberto as a vicious, angry heel, it could work. What I definitely didn't care for is making the Impact title match all about Patron. While the story with Drake and Johnny had been spinning its wheels prior to the PPV, they should have had the right to finish it off themselves. Alberto wrecking house could have been a post-match angle to set up what's next. Using it as the direct finish of the championship match gives the message that despite earning a suspension for the company, he takes precedence over those who held it down in his absence. That's a crappy message to send.